was a year ago now, and I'm going to play some shorter pieces for you, probably very familiar ones for you. I hope you'll enjoy the short pieces. I'll end up with a Beethoven first movement, but I think you'll probably recognize the ones that I have chosen to play short ones for you. I don't know if Father's ready yet or not. He wants to record. Is okay? Ready to go? Okay, I guess we can go. And I'm going to start with, and I have my student, Gloria Dorschner, here to turn some pages for me. I have half of these memorized or partly memorized. I memorized tons of music in my life, but I figure now at this point I probably don't have to memorize anymore completely. So I have my music with me, even though I have a lot of it memorized. So the first one I'm going to play is something very familiar, the Chopin Waltz, which is the Minute Waltz. I mean, it's very famous. And I think it was not given the name by Chopin, but somebody played it in a minute. I think I play it in a little bit more than a minute because I like a little bit more expression in the middle section of it. But I think you'll recognize it, and you probably won't worry that I play it in a little more than a minute. So I'll go ahead and start with the Minute Waltz. Thank you. Thank you. That's a famous piece. But this is another famous piece, and I'm sure you've all heard Clair de Lune. That is, of course, by Debussy, very French, and kind of later than Chopin. He was born in 1862, and it's probably one of his most popular pieces, so well known. It has flowing melodic lines requiring a good legato. You probably know what legato is, very smooth and connected, and double notes and chords and etc. It's very French and very impressionistic. It reminds me of the paintings that you see in the impressionistic artwork. It is evocative, pure, impressionistic, a picture of the night. So here is Clair de Lune. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Well, that's, I did most of these pieces as a kid. I just played a lot as a middle schooler and high schooler. The next one is another familiar one, and I'm sure you've heard the Rachmaninoff Prelude in C sharp minor. At one point, he wrote a lot of music, and he was alive until 1943. He was a late romantic, and he wrote for big hands because he had big hands. And this one is, he wrote lots of preludes, but at one point they thought this was the only prelude he wrote because it became so popular. And it has originality and merit, and it's a genuine, lots of musical merit to it. So I'm sure you'll recognize this prelude in C sharp minor of Rachmaninoff's. Thank you again. Thank you again. So I'm still continuing with the Romantics. This is a piece by Chopin, and some of you have heard Fantasy Impromptu of Chopin's. It was when I was young, a lot of popular music was taken from classical music, and this is one of those because I'm Always Chasing Rainbows was taken from this piece that I'm playing for you now. Not the first part, which is fast, but the middle part, which is slow, and the I'm Always Chasing Rainbows theme. So this is appealing, has lots of lyricism. It has much demands for a well-developed technique because it's the fast part is 4 against 3 and pretty many notes to it. But you might recognize the fast part even, but I know you'll recognize the I'm Always Chasing Rainbows theme. So this is Fantasy Impromptu of Chopin's. Thank you, thank you. Another famous one, and this is a friend of Chopin's, Liszt wrote Liebestraum. He was a showman, much more than Chopin was, I think. He liked to play a lot. He played a lot, performed a lot more than Chopin did, and was kind of a big showman and technical artist. But this Liebestraum is very lyric, and then it gets very tempestuous in the middle. It has a lot of poetic sentiment. He wrote 3 Liebestraums, but the other 2 are not well known. This one really is. He asked for extremes of sonority and brilliance. He's maybe not as original as Chopin, but he does get full exploitation of the whole piano's tonal range. So you probably have heard this theme from Liebestraum, which is very lyric and very sentimental. So this is Liszt's Liebestraum. Thank you, thank you. Have many of you heard that before? Some of you probably have, I'm sure. The next one is the last of the short pieces, and I'll play a Beethoven first movement. But this one is called Malaguena, or I think I've been told to correct the spelling I mean correct the pronunciation, because I don't say it with enough Spanish accent, but I guess I haven't learned yet. So this is from a suite, and it's by Lecuona, and it's one piece that I played all the time in high school. It's a very technical piece, but it's got some lyricism to it too. The Spanish melodies and etc., and a lot of boisterousness, and it's kind of a fun piece to play. But I don't know how many times I played it. When I went back to a 50th reunion, a lot of people remember that I played that all the time because they asked for it all the time, because it's so showy. So I'll play this rather short piece, Malaguena, for you before the Beethoven. Thank you, all of you. It's a fun piece, of course. The last one I'm doing it's a Beethoven sonata, the first movement of a Beethoven sonata. It's called the Waldstein Sonata. It's got a wonderfully rhythmic first theme, and then almost hymnal second theme, which you'll hear, and then you'll hear those coming back. And sometimes it's in the left hand, sometimes it's, and he weaves it around. Beethoven was, and he was even going deaf as he wrote this piece. And it's just amazing what he could write in all those later years when he was really deaf. But this is a very beautiful piece, very rhythmic, but then very lyrical. And I think it says, what else did I know about this Beethoven? Oh, I think I've got another sheet on Beethoven that I might have forgotten. It requires a powerful and brilliant technique, the books say, and it needs a particularly acute sense of the larger rhythmic shape of it. And the two themes are drastically contrasted with the expressive hymn-like second theme. And it was written when he was getting into his tragic deafness. And he faced that courageously. So I hope you'll enjoy the Beethoven first movement of the Waldstein. It was named after Count Waldstein. Thank you very much. So glad you all. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Gloria, my nice page turner. Right. I guess I continue to play because I never really quit. Even when I was raising the 7 kids, I would learn a big half-hour long piece and memorize it and go play it on a program. And I think I'm one of the piano teachers that plays more than anyone else. Because some of them have given it up and then they don't go back to it. So I'm just glad I kept it up and can, maybe even encourage people to like classical music a little bit, right? So I thank you very much for your interest and your help, right? Very, very, very much. Thank you, Father, for asking me to play.
A while back I asked you, and we finally got her to come, so it's hard coordinating all those schedules and everything, but we're so happy to have you, and hopefully we'll have you back again. Thank you, MaryEllen. God bless you. Thank you, everybody. And I did record this. It'll be on our Facebook site. So if you want to watch it again, it'll be on there as well. So thank you.